Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. You're here with Realm Lefebvre, otherwise known as DraxxKraven, and we are going to go to Camp Forlorn Hope and let them know that we did a gigantic, stupid fetch quest where we went to all the radio stations and told them all that the security codes had gotten changed. Also, another Cazador attacks Camp Forlorn Hope and is immediately blown away. Holy shit. Why is that Cazador always spawn in here? I don't know. Ew.
Welcome back.
Every station except Charlie has been given the new security codes. Charlie was wiped out.
The station's been silent for quite some time now. I guess this confirms what we've all feared. Thanks for letting me know. I'll switch over all radio broadcasts to the new encrypted channels. This ought to help us stay a step ahead of any spies. Before you go, I've got another job available.
What up?
We've received some disturbing reports from some of the ranger stations. Heavy casualties at Alpha, super mutant legionaries at Delta.
What?
The weirdest one has to be the Great Khans and their trained death claws at Foxtrot. These reports can't be accurate, can they? I know you've already been out there, but could you do me a solid and confirm these reports with the rangers who sent them in?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'll investigate these reports. Have you heard anything unusual from the other ranger stations?
Nothing is severe. Charlie seems to be getting a lot of extra medical supplies for some reason, while Bravo hasn't requested a resupply in a while. Echo has been reporting heavy Legion activity down on their end, but that's about it.
Huh. Well, I'll investigate the reports and go check that out. What the hell? Super mutant legionnaires? That doesn't make any sense. And the Great Khans do not have any trained death claws. No one does. That program got discontinued with the Enclave. Like, you can't do that. Unfortunately, alas, I remember the days of talking death claws and just magnificent mayhem, but that just doesn't happen anymore. Payson.
Yeah?
What the fuck is up with super mutant legionnaires?
No, I didn't. You might hear that kind of nonsense from a drunk trooper on the strip, but not from me. The Legion doesn't have super mutants. That patrol was wiped out by its own incompetence. A couple of the troopers were fooling around with a grenade when it went off.
Well, I guess they got what they deserved. Still, why would someone falsify that report? What? Who? What? What? All right, who's next? Oh, did you go down there to help me fight the lake clerks? Aw, thanks. You're so nice. Lindholm.
This is a military outpost.
Sergeant Reyes sent me. She's curious about the high casualties at this station.
High casualties? We've had one broken ankle, but nobody at this post has died.
Oh, her information says that they've been dying by the truckload.
Any injury, illness, or death gets radioed to Ranger HQ at Camp Golf. Chief Hanlon and his aides compile the reports and assign reinforcements as needed. And they're not needed here.
Huh. Could Reyes have been wrong?
There are other ranger posts around. Reyes might have mixed up the report.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
Reyes got the numbers wrong.
Okay. All right. I guess mistakes happen. Foxtrot. There aren't even any death claws this far north. They live way further south. They're in not Boulder. They're at Sloan.
Yeah?
Kudlow. Death claws?
You must be mistaken. I haven't filed any report like that. Trained death claws? I would have remembered that. If someone is saying I filed that report, that's a load of crap. I won't have my name attached to a clerical error.
Okay. Tell me your story. Lang told me her story. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. There was a lot of talk about expelling her from the Rangers, especially once the gambling and drinking started. Being posted here is her second and last chance, and so far, I'm not impressed. Link's jumpy all the time, and the others are sick of it.
Alright. Well, let's head back to Forlorn Hope. Because this is... So we got 3 reports that are all bupkis. And they're all totally absurd. Just like not even within the realm of plausibility.
Welcome back.
The Rangers' version of the reports they sent to Camp Golf don't match what you got.
I knew it. Every one of the false reports was signed off by Chief Hanlon at Camp Golf. But why would the chief manipulate the reports? I need you to take everything we found to Chief Hanlon and confront him with it. I don't want to make this public unless we have to.
Alright, alright. Ooh, 300 caps. Nice. Welcome to Camp Golf. It used to be a golf course, so now it's Camp Golf. What do you do with all that land? Meh. Nothing. But since we're here, hole 10, par 5. There are a lot of things going on at Camp Golf that we could help with, such as the Misfits. Mags, Patriots Cookbook, Hanrahan, Poindexter, and Raz. Oh, we'll get to them later. Maybe there's someone I can talk to. Maybe about getting Bitter Springs some reinforcements. Probably in the big tent.
Hello?
Nope, just a bunch of troopers doing their thing. Alright, let's go chat with Hanlon. Where can you find Hanlon? You can find him out on his balcony, up on the 2nd floor. He's a bit of a solitary man. He doesn't like to be disturbed. Which means I hate to bring him this information, but someone needs to know about this. Someone's fucking with the reports, and it's got his name on it, so he deserves to know about this travesty of military intelligence. I know the joke is that that's an oxymoron, but still, this is insane. House resort. Yeah, Camp Golf is pretty big, so it's easy to get lost.
Wish I could have been there to see Caesar die. What an asshole.
Jesus. Oh. Oh man, he's not on his little loft. Well, I am gonna wait the night away. I refuse to chat with Chief Hanlon unless he's out on his little balcony. That's where this conversation takes place. You know what I mean? Hanlon. How's it going, man? Whoops.
Back west, you don't see too many of these. Lakes, I mean. Natural or man-made. Any kind, really. We neglected the dams or pumped all the water out a long time ago. Owens, Isabella, the San Luis. Drained the aquifers of everything they had. Just a lot of mud and dust now. It's a different feeling watching the sun come up over the water. Takes some getting used to. But if you're here long enough, it starts to seem normal. That's what a ranger's life is now, looking east. You must be the courier folks have been talking about. Word on the radio is that someone wronged you back in Good Springs. The Mojave has a way of burning decent people up. But it sounds like you've done right by the NCR. It's appreciated. Now what can I do for you?
I really love Hanlon. He's a little long-winded, but he's always got something to say. Tell me about yourself, Hanlon.
Folks around here call me the chief, but Hanlon's just fine. The Rangers run themselves pretty well, but I try to lend a hand. Mostly administrative work, helping coordinate intel on the radio. That and keeping an eye on the fires growing across the water.
How do you coordinate intelligence?
It's a simple system when it works. Patrol Rangers radio intel to ranger stations. Comm Rangers send the intel up the station chain until it reaches Camp Golf. Then I or one of the other Rangers on duty organize the data, evaluate it, and send information to camps or troopers in the field.
Why don't the ranger stations send the intel directly to the troopers?
Comm Rangers might have an incomplete picture of the situation. There's a lot going on out there. Intel needs to be coordinated through Golf so we can verify and advise appropriately.
Makes sense.
Troopers have enough to deal with. We don't want them questioning their intel.
Do you know anything about the problems?
I don't know, Technical Sergeant Reyes, but coordinating intel can be messy sometimes. Things get mixed up, people get confused. Heck, I get confused, and I've been doing this for a long time now. What he or she sees as a problem might be standard operating procedure. That's not to say Reyes is wrong for being concerned, but it's easy for the sand to get in your eyes out here.
Can you give me any advice?
Well, the logical thing to do is to check with the patrol rangers and comm officers. Don't be too discouraged if some things don't match up. Different people see different things, and sometimes the meaning gets twisted, lost in static from person to person.
Let's talk about something else.
Sure.
Tell me about the Rangers.
I could tell you a lot if you had the time, but at my age, I'm not sure which of us would get tired first. What do you want to know?
Do you have any good stories to tell?
Suppose it depends on what you think's good. Most folks want to hear about Hoover Dam and Boulder City, but it's a long story. If you want some tall tales about hunting down slavers or busting up gangs, talk to one of the younger rangers.
Come on. There's got to be something good the Rangers have done that you're proud of.
It's kind of a long one, but all right. About 25 years ago, a group of NCR settlers pushed way south into Baja. I guess it doesn't seem so far now if you look at a map, but back then they were out of ways. They built this little shanty town around a well in the middle of nowhere. Called it Rattletail. Word got back to one of our stations that raiders had been attacking the place. I went out with 6 rangers. We must have been on the trail for a week before we got to Rattletail. We lost one woman to night stalkers and another almost died of dehydration. When we reached the place, it's 6 shacks set up around an old well. There's over 24 bodies lying in the dunes way outside of town, and 5 men with 308 rifles crouched behind sandbags. And these bodies, these people out in the sand, they aren't raiders, aren't even heavily armed. They're just people who were trying to get to the only well in 50 miles. I didn't have to talk to the men to see that they did not care one bit. They had planted an NCR flag over the well. They would not budge until every last one of them was laid out dead and cold. So I walked up and told them there was a group of raiders coming, 100 strong. I made up some cockamamie name for them and everything. The men looked at each other, looked at us, and asked me what we were going to do about it. I told them we would take them back into NCR territory because we'd already lost 10 rangers on the way out. 10 rangers, 5 men with 308 rifles. Well, that was enough for them. They packed up what they could and we took them back north. Last I heard, they settled somewhere in Anza Borrego. Raised bighorners. Had some tough times, but it worked out okay for them. So there you go. That's my one bit of good.
Let's talk about something else.
Shoot.
Hanlon, you're the one who's manipulating the intelligence, aren't you?
Hold on. If we're gonna have this conversation, let's go somewhere more private. Don't worry, not much bite left in this old dog.
Once you hear that story, oh Jesus Christ, he's got a Ranger Sequoia. Hot damn, that thing will put a hole in you. But I don't think Hanlon's gonna silence us by force. That's just not his style. He just doesn't do that. He's not a fighting man. He's a talking man. Oh Jesus, what the hell's going on, Hanlon? Does your old age, do your long-winded tales emit some sort of bizarre lag field? What have I done to deserve this? Okay, now everything's fine. Okay, now it's not fine again. We're at seconds per frame at this point. The fuck? So, yeah. Hanlon is not afraid to lie about a situation in order to do what's right. what he thinks is right. Take a seat, Hanlon. I'm not about to kill you. Lucky 38 VIP card?
Sorting and manipulating intelligence is what I do. It's what Rangers are supposed to do. This job isn't all gunfighting and gulping shots of whiskey, no matter what the boys and ladies out there say.
But you're inventing your own intelligence reports. I've seen the logs and talked to the Rangers.
You have you? Misdirection. When you're pinned down, outnumbered, and 2 days from any help, it's just about the best friend you can have. Misdirection's what saved me all these years. It's what saved us at Hoover Dam. But it's been 5 years now, and Caesar's right across that lake. He's closer now than he ever was before. I was a young man once. I know what it's like to want to fight for your home. But this isn't it.
It's just like the town at the well. How does spreading false intelligence help anyone?
People back home don't listen. They don't care. Senators, Brahmin barons, folks who are just trying to make it from day to day. It's been so many years that people forget about it. Conscription brings in fresh troops that die here every month, like it's routine. And even if we hold this dam, what then? Are we gonna send the NCR's men and women to die here for another 5 years? 10? Patrol the whole length of the Colorado for hundreds of miles? Holding this dam, it'll be the death of us.
But what does this accomplish? How does this work? Why do you do it?
It's never gonna end. This fight with Caesar. People back home don't know what these young men and women are in for. The Legion is the worst enemy we've ever faced. But we can't stop Caesar here. Not without getting a lot of good people killed. More than anyone cares to count up. But even if we do stop him, I don't see how we're ever going to be able to pull out.
Wait, aren't you fighting for the people of New Vegas?
We're fighting on their behalf, but Mr. House and the families are stringing us up inch by inch. They'll drain us dry while we fight and die over this dam. We offered them sanctuary in NCR territory before, but they won't listen. Troopers and Rangers have been dying here for more than 5 years while the families sit pretty behind that damn wall.
What do you think I should do about this?
First thing that comes to mind is to turn me in. But that might not be the best play, all things considered. Even if your heart's in the right place, I reckon it might do a lot more harm than good.
What will you do if I don't turn you in?
Oliver can't stand that Rangers got credit for victory at Hoover. Whatever I recommend, he does the opposite. I said I wanted us on the ridge. He put them right on the western part of the dam itself. We don't have enough firepower to hold that spot. If the troopers fall back, and they will, the Rangers will advance to cover Oliver's retreat. We lose the dam. Oliver and the center are ruined.
Wait. Like really sick. What about you and the Rangers?
Rangers are volunteers. Every man and woman who signs up is willing to die for the NCR, myself included. A lot of this is my fault. It's only right that I stand with them.
Caesar's dead. Legion won't be able to hold itself together for 5 years. Just if you hold the dam, then everything will be all right, Hanlon.
It's a gamble either way. Even with Caesar gone, we still might not outlast the Legion. I suppose that's a risk I'll have to take. For our sake, I hope you're right. I guess that I should thank you for bringing me to my senses. So, thanks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna walk out that door and pretend we never had this.
Well, that's that. Yeah, his plan is basically a combination between either getting enough attention out west that they improve the military standards of the Hoover Dam, or scare them so much that it discourages them from sending more troops. Either way, he considers that either of those conditions to be a victory state. And so in order to do that, he sends those bizarre reports back to the NCR. In any event, it's a very, very bold plan. But like once I heard the story about Rattletail, it all just clicked together. That's exactly he's doing it again. He's just pulling the same trick twice. But goddamn, is it a good trick? All right, let's get Bitter Springs the help that it needs next time. Let's play Fallout New Vegas. Good night, everyone.